a new year doesn't magically change your life, but it does give you a chance to reset, to reflect, and decide who you're going to become over the course of the year. And I think you need to choose areas that you want to develop over the course of the year. So mine are always faith, family, fitness, and finance. Faith with obviously being strengthened in my relationship with the Lord. Family with strengthening my relationship with my wife, my daughter. Fitness, improving my health, not just from a physical standpoint, but with rest, recovery, nutrition, cardio, all that area. And then finance. Finance means leveling up in your career, maybe starting a side hustle. And when I refer to wealth and finance, I'm not just talking about money rich, I'm talking about mentally rich. And that comes down to personal development, growing your mind as an individual. What is going on, YouTube? And welcome back to another day in the life video of a husband, father, special education teacher, and Spartan. Today's day in the life is going to look a little bit different because currently I am on Christmas break. So I do not have work today, which I am very excited about. Get the next 2 weeks off, and I am enjoying the mess out of them with my wife and my daughter. But by the time this video airs, it will be January 1st, which means everybody's going to be talking about their new year, new me, and their resolutions. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys basically about how to prepare for the reset, because that's what I consider it. You get to reset on January 1st. So let's get into the video. Next thing I like to do in my day before the noise of the day starts, I like to slow things down. So this is like my time to fortify my mind. The 3 things I focus on in this time, once I'm done journaling and reviewing my goals, is I will focus on my daily devotional, which I like it. It's basically just a quick devotional that gets my mind right, ready to receive the message of the Lord. Usually, it's kind of weird how it works, but usually it ties into what I'm thinking about or worrying about or stressing about in my life. So I really like doing that. Once I'm done with my daily devotional, then I will jump into the actual Bible. Right now I'm reading the Maxwell Leadership Bible, which is basically just, I've said before, John C. Maxwell is like the guru when it comes to leadership. And all he does is he takes passages and people from the Bible and then ties in leadership qualities that they have. Really interesting. I'm liking it so far. I started in the Old Testament and I'm probably about maybe a quarter of it through. And I usually always pick up some type of leadership technique that I can apply to my day. And then once that is done, then I always focus on some type of personal development book. So right now I'm reading Robin Sharma. I'm really liking this guy. I've read a couple of his books, and this one's called Discover Your Destiny. So one thing I do is anytime I'm reading a personal development book, if I read a book that I like and I like the author, I will literally purchase pretty much all their books. I've done that with John C. Maxwell, I've done it with Brian Tracy, now I'm doing it with Robert Sharma. I've done a couple other ones. Malcolm Gladwell, I've done his books. So again, this is like where I reflect on the past year, what worked, what didn't, where I want to grow. The thing is when you make progress, it's not an accident, but it starts with intention. So you have to have intention, not only January 1st. It has to start January 1st, but you have to have it intentional, and you have to be intentional every single day for that first 90 days. So if I'm being honest with you, I'm actually not that big of a fan of January 1st and New Year's goals. And the reason why is because I'm a bigger fan of 90-day goals, 3-month goals. And the reason why is because I think when it comes mentally to a year goal, you set these goals that you want to accomplish in a year. A year is a long time, 365 days. You're trying to achieve something you obviously do not have. So what happens is you set this goal, you're excited, and then about 2 weeks in, you realize, one, you have to do it for the entire year. Two, you haven't really seen any results because it's only 2 weeks in. And you get like stuck in between, it's really far away, so I have time, which kind of makes you kind of put it on the back burner. And then what ends up happening is at the end of the year, you don't accomplish it because it was a year. So I'm a bigger fan of 90-day goals. And the reason why is I have like 3 goals that I am focusing on over the next 90 days. 90 days isn't that long. It's long enough for you to accomplish something, but it's not long enough for you to think like, oh, I have 9 months, or I have 12 months. Like 3 months does something to you mentally where it's like, okay, I only got 90 days to accomplish this goal. Also, you don't have to wait an entire year to find out if you didn't hit your goal and what adjustments to make. In the next 90 days, if I don't hit my goals, one, it's a shorter period where I could document and track everything. That's what I do. One of the first things I do in the morning is I review my goals. One, to put them in the front of my mind so that I'm focusing on them, but two, also to see like, okay, what I did yesterday, did that bring me closer to my goal? What I'm doing today, is it bringing me closer to my goal, my 90-day goal? And at the end of the 90 days, it's only been 90 days, which means if you didn't hit that goal, you can make an adjustment. If you did hit that goal, you could set a different goal, which means if you do the 90-day reset, which is what I kind of focus on, you get 4 of those a year. So you could accomplish probably 4 times as much as the average person who sets maybe 10 goals at the beginning of on January 1st and then waits an entire year and works on them for that entire year, hoping that they achieve them. I don't think that's the way to do it. So that's why I focus on the 90-day reset. I teach the 90-day reset and what to focus on and how to set goals and everything in my school community. That's one thing we always focus on, is basically taking a 90-day goal, whether it's in faith, family, fitness, fatherhood, finance, whatever it may be, and then really breaking that down to something attainable over the next 90 days. And at the end of the 90 days, you review it. You either accomplished it and you give yourself a pat on the back, or you learned and now you make adjustments and pivot. So first things first, you got to figure out where you are. So you got to, like I said, I weighed myself this morning to see where I'm at body weight wise, because I got basically a physique goal over the next 90 days I'm focusing on. I got content, which I'm focusing on over the next 90 days. And then I got a family goal that I'm focusing on over the next 90 days. So figure out where you are, your starting point, whether that be your weight, whether that be your finances, whether that be your relationship, where you are. Review them every single day and make adjustments accordingly. The thing about training every single day is it's a constant reminder that growth, any type of growth, whether that's your muscles growing, you growing as an individual, your mind growing, it all takes effort. And right now, January 1st, new year, everybody's excited. Everybody has motivation. And that's why the first 2 weeks, everybody's motivated, they're fired up, they're excited to wake up early, they're excited to go to the gym, they're excited to get uncomfortable because they're focusing on their effort, so their motivation is very high. But I'm telling you right now, if you want to accomplish any goal in life, you need to realize it's not going to take motivation. The average person has motivation. What it is going to take every single day is discipline. And discipline is knowing what you need to do, not wanting to do it, but doing it anyway. That is what successful people do. That is what high achievers do. The average person will do what they feel like doing. Successful people, motivated people, disciplined people, they will do what needs to be done even when they don't feel like doing it. Which, like I've said before, 90% of the times, I don't feel like working out. And today is one of those days. But discipline is going to get me through this. All right, so today's training session was a lower body session. So obviously I started off with like a 10-minute warm-up, just loosening up the legs, especially since it's colder here in the garage. It's about 58 degrees. And since I'm 35 years old, definitely got to get a good warm-up. Once that was done, I jumped into my plyos for the day. I like to start off leg day with some form of explosive work. So I had 4 sets of 3 on box jumps. So I'd hit 3 reps
wait about 2 minutes, get it fully recovered, and then I hit another 3. I did that for 4 sets. Once that was done, then I did seated broad jumps. This was a 3x3, so 3 sets of 3. So I do 3 jumps, again, wait 2 minutes, get full recovery. Once I was done, then I jumped into actually the strength portion, which back squat, 5x5. I am trying to increase my leg strength over the next 20 weeks before my son is here. It's part of my 20 pounds in 20 weeks. I want to get stronger before he is here. Since this is the first couple weeks, I am taking it very slow because I have a lower back problems. I don't want to injure myself. So the goal is to increase by 5 pounds each set. So today I did 5 sets of 185. Next week I'll shoot for 190. Again, over the course, even though it's only 5 pounds each week, over the course of 20 weeks, that's a good amount of weight. After that, it was front squats. I had 3x6, so 6 reps, and then I would just increase each set. So I think I ended with 115 for 6. I will probably start with that next week. Then I jumped into some reverse lunges. I did 10 each leg, so total of 20. Lighter weight, again, just focusing on leg endurance for this part. Then I jumped into some leg extensions for 3 sets of 12. I did single leg, and then for those, it was about a 60-second rest in between. Once that was done, then I jumped into the core portion of the workout. So I like to superset core. So I did 3 sets of 10 rollouts, and then 3 sets of 10 Russian twists. So I would do 10 rollouts, 10 Russian twists, wait 2 minutes, 10 rollouts, 10 Russian twists, wait 2 minutes, and I did that 3 sets. Once that was done, then today is just an easy run. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It's not like I'm focusing on time, or it's not like I'm focusing on distance. I'm not focusing on pace. I'm literally just focusing on time. So today I chose 20 minutes with the goal of doing it after I do my lower body session so that I could get used to compromised running. Because over the next 20 weeks, I will be competing in a Deca Mile team and then a Deca Fit team. So next 20 weeks, I want to drop some body weight along with body fat, and then increase my strength, and then increase my speed and my cardio. So that is the goal. So when I did that easy run, like I said, I'm not focusing on pace, I'm not focusing on heart rate, I'm literally just focusing on enjoying the 20 minutes. So today, luckily I was able to watch some Stranger Things. I'm about 20 minutes into the 3rd episode before the last episode drops on New Year's Eve. All I'm saying is they better not kill Steve, because if they kill Steve, I'm gonna lose my mind, and I'm probably gonna boycott Netflix for the rest of my life. So anyways, it is about 8:20, so I'm gonna go inside, probably shower, eat, and then get on with my day. So every Sunday in the Dettorre house is donuts with my daughter, or for her version, donuts with my daddy. I go out and I get donuts every Sunday. It's mine and my daughter's little tradition that we do. We enjoy it. She does not eat donuts every single week. She does not, or every single day. She does not eat donuts every single day. She doesn't eat bad food throughout the week. Throughout the week, she's pretty much on my diet, which is ground beef, chicken, rice, vegetables. She eats healthy. So for all of you who are about to freak out saying, oh, you give your daughter that, calm down. It's a treat that we enjoy once a week. I am teaching my daughter that you work hard throughout the week and then you get to enjoy the weekend. Once that is done, Sundays are usually meant for meal prep. So what I've been doing lately is I have been cooking about 4 pounds of ground beef, 93.7, and then about a pack of chicken thighs. Now I would prefer to just have all ground beef if I'm being honest. However, my wife, since she is pregnant, for some odd reason, our son does not like the smell of ground beef. So every time Cassie smells that, it makes her want to gag. I have to air out the entire house, and it's just a mess. So the reason why I only eat it once a day is it is technically my lunch. So when I'm at work, I will microwave the ground beef so that Cassie does not have to smell it. And then when I come home for dinner, I'll have my 7 ounces of chicken thighs. And when I microwave that, she is fine with it. Once the baby is here, I will probably go back to just ground beef for lunch, ground beef for dinner. I like ground beef, it works. So basically for lunch, I'll do 7 ounces of ground beef, 7 ounces of chicken thighs for dinner. And then depending on what day it is, because I am carb cycling and calorie cycling right now in order to lose weight, in order to lose the 20 pounds. So right now my schedule is varied. So what I'll do is I'll cook all the chicken, package the chicken, and then when it's the day before, I'll cook some rice and throw it in there for the carb source. I think it's very important that you have a set day, especially if it comes to nutrition and you wanting to lose weight and get in shape. You need to have a set day or a set couple days a week that your child sees you meal prepping, your child sees you preparing your food, and your child sees you doing something consistently. Since I've been on break for this past week, my daughter has participated in my afternoon workouts because I'll usually do my lifting and cardio in the morning, and then later, depending on the day, I'll do a conditioning piece. And yesterday she went out there with me, and then today she said, are you going to do a condition, or she didn't say, are you going to do a conditioning piece? But she said, Daddy, are you going to work out tomorrow? She's seeing that it's consistency. She's seeing that if you have a goal, you're going to have to work towards it. That's something that I'm trying to show her, is that anything in life, if you want to get better at it, you have to work towards it. And you have to put in the work consistent. Again, not just when you're motivated. Since I am on Christmas break, I'm also using this as I always use the last 2 weeks before the new year, because I am on Christmas break, that I get 2 weeks to really reset and kind of refocus where I need to put my focus for the new year. So two things questions I always like to ask myself, you guys have heard it before if you've watched this channel, is what did I do well, and what did I do well, and what could I have done better? Those are two questions that all go down, and basically in all areas of life, whether it relationships, spiritual, financial, career, physical. I will go through personal development. I will go down and ask those two questions on every single one, and I'll kind of take a break. I've been journaling a lot more. I've been reading a lot of benefits of that. Robin Sharma, the guy that I was telling you guys about earlier, he is a big advocate for journaling. And like I said, I'm not very good at it, but I'm starting to do it, and I am enjoying it. There's something about physically writing it down. So what I did this year is I'm a big person of visualizing it. So I always have a dream board. I always cut out pictures and kind of put them up for the year. But last year I would always do it for the year. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm really big on 90 days. I read a book, I forgot which book it was in the beginning of the year, but they break down, or they talk about how doing 90-day goals is a lot more effective, basically everything I said earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create smaller vision boards for the next 90 days on different areas I want to improve in. And again, I have to switch my mindset from trying to create a goal that's going to take a year and making it huge, as opposed to, okay, what can I realistically accomplish in the next 90 days? At the same time though, I am trying to stretch myself. So what I've been doing is I've been actually using ChatGPT to create my goals into almost like a SMART goals. So specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. I'm having him create those for me in a written statement, and then I'm putting those into actually Canva and creating visuals of those. So some of my goals, whether it's like 10% body fat or have a certain physique, I'll take a picture of me, basically throw it in Canva or ChatGPT and say, hey, could you create a better physique for this? And then now I see my face on a better physique. I know it's kind of weird, but I've never been able to do that with a vision board. I usually have to find someone that I want to look like, put their body up, and now it's actually I could use my own. As for stuff that we want to do to the house, I've been kind of taking pictures of my house, the one we're going to move into, and telling it, hey, this is how I want to renovate it, and then it pops out a picture, and now I know visually what I want my house to look like. I've done the same for my gym. I've done the same for my new work area at that house. So I would encourage you for this reset for the next 90 days, create 90-day goals in different areas of your life. Write them down in a positive present tense, like I am now 200 pounds with 10% body fat or whatever it is. And then have a visual that you can look at it 3 times a day. I've been working towards that 3 times a day. I'm not there yet, but I got to start somewhere. So every morning I would review my goals. I'll visualize my goals. I'll read statements that I threw in ChatGPT and they shot them out of different statements of what it would look like, what it would sound like, what it would feel like when I accomplish these goals. And then I'll sit and I'll read through those and kind of visualize it. That's something I've been doing. I haven't been doing it 3 times a day, but I have been doing it in the morning and at night before I go to bed. But I think those are keys to when it comes to having a reset at the beginning of the year. So it is 4:12 right now, and I just finished my second workout of the day. So today was, the second workout was gonna be a conditioning piece. I've been testing this out, having the 2-a-days. So it's leg day core, some cardio, which is basically zone 2, very easy run. And then later on in the day at about 2:33, I'll come back out here and do a conditioning piece that takes me about roughly 20 minutes. And now I'm in the zone 4, zone 5. So it was supposed to be 4 rounds of 800-meter run, 25 dumbbell thrusters, 500-meter row, and then 20 lunges. It's kind of like a high rocks, I guess you could say, workout. If you're training for a high rocks, you could do this workout. I put 4 rounds. However, since I'm trying to build up my volume to my DECA races, which I'm training for, I stopped it at 20 minutes. So I'm progressively overloading each week with like 21 minutes, 22 minutes, 23 minutes, basically going up 1 minute each week at threshold so that I get comfortable holding that, basically being in that zone 4, zone 5, and being able to sustain it. Because where I messed up last time for my DECA mile that I ran, I was chilling, I was cool until I hit that about 21, 22 minute mark. And then I just gassed out. I had nothing left. I was fatigued, I was sore, I was tired. But it was because I kept doing 20-minute, basically ANRAPs leading up to that. So I know I could sustain it for 20 minutes, I was chilling. But then right at, like I said, 21 minutes, that's when I hit that wall. And then that last 4 minutes, I just was gassed. So each week I'm progressively moving up. Now, Saturdays and Sundays are always my longer training days because obviously I'm off from work. So there's usually a morning lifting session followed by a cardio session, and then later in the afternoon I'll do some type of conditioning piece like this. I haven't tried this. I usually space it out, and that's why I do like 7 days a week, because I'll take those 2 conditioning pieces and put them on my rest day. However, I'm trying something new, and I'm actually giving myself 2 days off a week, 2 full rest days. So tomorrow, Monday and Fridays are my full rest days. I'm testing it out. I'm trying to see how I feel mentally, physically, sleeping in on those days a little bit longer, basically getting an hour more of sleep. So I'm testing it out. We're gonna see how it goes. I think mentally it might be probably better for me to break up and know that, hey, I get 2 days off a week. Even today, when I didn't wanna come out here, I forced myself to come out here because I know tomorrow I get a rest day. I'm chilling. So tomorrow, when I don't feel like working out, I'll be okay because I'm not scheduled to work out. So Adeline and Cassie are sleeping right now, so I'm gonna go in about 4:15. I'll shower, change, do some laundry, and then Sundays, like I said, I have my donuts with my daughter in the morning, and then I'll usually have one of my scheduled meals during the day, and then later on at night, Cassie usually cooks some type of dinner that is, again, not on my nutrition plan or my meal plan. So I don't know what she's cooking tonight, but I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm still able to lose weight. So like I said, last week was the holidays. I had 5 cheat meals. I think I had my 2 on Sunday. I had 1 on Christmas Eve, 1 on Christmas Day, and then, I went to breakfast or lunch with some friends. Yeah, I wanna say I had 5 cheat meals last week, and I still dropped 0.4 or 0.5 pounds from the previous week. You are able to enjoy the holidays. You don't have to go, black or white. You don't have to go extreme. You don't have to be basically all or nothing. There is a gray area that you could kind of maintain throughout the week and still enjoy certain meals, but then adjust your calories the rest of the week accordingly so that you still hit your goals. Now, did I lose my pound or a pound and a half that I'm shooting for every week? Absolutely not, but I didn't gain any weight. That's the goal. Over the next 20 weeks, I want to drop 20 pounds before my son gets here. So if I was able to lose 0.5 pounds the week where I enjoyed myself with family and I didn't think about my meals or my macros or anything like that, I'll take it as a win. So if that's something that you guys have no clue what to do, or you guys are confused on that, starting January 1st, I am gonna start one-on-one coaching if you guys are interested in that. I'm actually launching a school community, which there's basically 3 different levels. If you're interested, click the link in the description, but I'd be more than happy to offer some one-on-one coaching for you, depending on whatever your goal is, whether it's to lose body fat, or just sign up for your first Spartan race, High Rocks, DECA, training for any of those. I've had a lot of people in the past ask me if I do one-on-one coaching, and January 1st, 2026, I'm officially launching one-on-one coaching. So if you're interested, click the link in the description. I'm gonna go inside though, because I stink.
8:41, which means it's time for bed. Time to wrap up this video. I did not show you guys my dinner with my family. It was bomb. Cassie made basically Parmesan chicken with some type of Caesar salad, and then we had some baked potatoes, and then just kind of spent some time as a family. Did not get any of that footage, which again, you guys don't really need to see that. And then I did finish Stranger Things, the 3rd episode, so now I'm just waiting for the season finale, the series finale. That sucks. Great show, coming to an end. I'll probably wake up early Thursday morning. I think it comes out New Year's Eve. Thursday morning, watch the 2-hour series finale, and then probably get a workout in. But all in all, that was a day in the life. That is what my Sundays look like. Like I said, I got 1 more week off with my wife and daughter, so I'm going to enjoy every moment. I'm going to try to get her as many play dates as possible. We're supposed to go over to my cousin's house tomorrow so she can have a play date. Then we're going to my mom's on Tuesday so she can have another play date. And then I think Thursday for New Year's, I think New Year's is on a Thursday, we will go to my parents again so she can play with her cousins. And then Monday I go back to work. So anyways, but if you are watching this and you have watched it this far, and I know you're probably excited about the new year, and you should be, but just let me remind you guys, whatever you're about to start, you do not need to be perfect to start. Whatever it is your goal may be, you just need to start. So this year, again, I'm focusing on my faith, I'm focusing on my family, I'm focusing on my fitness, and I'm focusing on fatherhood. I'm going to try and improve in every area of that every single day. Again, not trying to be perfect, just trying to be consistent, and at the end of the day, trying to start improving on those things. And if you like this video, if you feel like it helped you, then hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, because I drop 2 videos every single week. Monday motivation on Mondays, and then day in the life videos on Friday, so you can kind of see all areas of my life. And then comment below one goal that you guys have for this year that you would like to see the most change in, or the most growth in one area. And again, if I could give you guys any advice, I would not say don't set New Year's resolutions. If you're going to set a New Year's resolution or 2026 goals, I would break it up into quarters. So like, have big goals that you want, but then break those down into quarterly goals, and then focus on your first quarter goals for the first quarter. Do not think about what you're trying to accomplish at the end of the year. Just accomplish what you can. Hit your 90-day mark, 90-day reset. That's what we call it. So it's a new year, new focus. Now let's go build something great. And you guys already know the motto: stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, don't be average. I will see you guys next Friday.